And that, I think, was the first time in my life that I've actually felt sort of a black cloud come over my head, because I've never really suffered.
Spoke about sort of a little bit about what she does for people that don't know her.
Yeah.
So people that don't know you, Kirsty, so tell us a little bit about what you like doing or do, etc. Tell us about that.
So I'm Kirsty, and thank you so much for nice to meet you, Yasmin. And thanks so much for inviting me today, because I have never felt really like an advocate for anyone at all. Like, this has just been just me doing my own thing, and I've kind of just fell into the fitness influencing world kind of accidentally, really. And as Nettie knows, when I met you, I've known you a long time, haven't I, Nettie? About 10 years I've known Nettie.
Yeah.
And it's only kind of recently, since I moved from Exeter as a paramedic to South Devon as a paramedic, that me and Nettie have realised that we're both advocates for self-care, mental health and people, and we share the same compassions, but in different ways.
Yeah.
And we met, didn't we, at Costa Coffee? And because Nettie wanted a little bit of advice from me, because I've been a fitness influencer. And the only reason I'm a fitness influencer is because I was just posting little videos every now and again on Facebook, like you do, boring Facebook. But my kids will tell me I'm old being on Facebook. But and then Meta got in touch with me and said, your videos are getting so many views. Would you be interested? I was like, nah, a lot of rubbish. I'm ignoring that spam. And then I just answered one day, and they verified me then as a fitness influencer on Facebook and Instagram. Oh. And it's funny, really, because my name is actually Kirsty Walker, but I'm a runner. So my name is Kirsty Runner Walker on Facebook now. Just in case you didn't get that. Some people do, and some people have got no idea why. They think that's my actual name, Kirsty Runner Walker, but no, I'm just a Kirsty Walker. But I think Nettie were quite surprised when we met that I know nothing about influencing whatsoever. She thought she was going to learn from me. And I actually learned from her.
It ended up the other way around.
It was the other way around. I was like, oh, really? You do that? Yeah. Oh, I didn't actually know that. Yeah. I just put my videos on, get a few views, and that's it, really. I don't really put anything else into it apart
What
from
was
doing
it that
that.
really drove you to do that in the first place?
So, I have always been into fitness. I've ran cross country since I was 11, and I'm 21 now. So over 30 years of running, and I've just always just enjoyed it. And now, in the last couple of years, since I've got this influencing page, in fact, where it started, I think, was I'm from Manchester, obviously. Not putting the accent on. It seems like I came from Manchester today. How long it took me to get in here, didn't it?
Oh, bless you. That's just add to the layer of
but yeah, so I lived in Manchester, and I've always been a very, very chilled out person. Like growing up, I've had some difficulties growing up. Like my mum and dad split up, and my dad left when I was 7 and my sister was 3, and it's been a girls' world ever since. Just me, my mum, and my sister. And we've all been dead chilled and had a really nice life, childhood similar to you, with dancing and performing and all things like that. And then I met my beautiful husband, my absolute rock, when I was very young. I was 16, and we had a child. So when I was 17, I had my first child, who's now 24 and lives in London as an animator. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So she's doing good. But when Livia was 7, my husband said to me, why don't you, because I was happy in Manchester. I had my job in the NHS. I was going to the gym every day. I was in a little bubble. I had lots of support. I had my mum. I had my nan. And then he came back and he just said, what do you think about moving to Devon? Like maybe just give it a try for 6 months. And if you don't like it, we can always come back. I've been here 16 years now, and I very rarely go back to Manchester. But yeah, so I moved down to Devon, and within 6 months of me moving down here, my husband went to Afghanistan for 6 months, and I didn't know anybody. There was just me, my 7-year-old girl, some very amazing girls on the military quarter, but yeah, that were difficult. And that, I think, were the first time in my life that I've actually felt sort of a black cloud come over my head, because I've never really suffered with depression like growing up or anything like that. And people would say I'm depressed, and I've never really understood it myself. But then when it happened to me, when my husband were in Afghan and I was trying to juggle life, jobs, that black cloud came and didn't go away, and it got to a point where I had to like speak to a doctor and say, I don't know what to do. Like, no matter what I do, it's not lifting, it's just there. And I just kind of realised that when I went out and did my little trots, not very fast, I was never like very fast anyway. I just found that when I got back, I felt better instantly. And my body would change, and, people would comment and say, oh my God, how'd you get up and do that? And that's, I guess, the way I've got into like my fitness now, because now it's just gone way off the scale, hasn't it, Nettie? So a bit like Nettie in the last year, in the last 4 years since COVID, I saw a post on Facebook, and it says, you're either going to come out of the pandemic fitter or fatter. And I thought, yes, I'm going to be fitter. So I took that 30 minutes a day or an hour a day, whatever we had, to just work on my running. And I just literally train, effort training and everything. And I lost 3.5 stone. So I was about a size 12 and a triathlete running. But then when I lost my weight, that's when my running got better. I just worked hard at it in COVID.
What do you think motivates you to get up and out?
I think the hardest thing, because like I say, you might not be interested in anything that I say, but for me, any kind of movement helps. So even if you don't want to, sometimes I wake up, I work full time with Nettie as paramedic, and it is tiring. The job, not so much. The job's lovely. It's beautiful. We get to deal with one patient at a time. We get to help them. We get to see what we do and how it helps them. And it's gorgeous. But shift work is
exhausting.
You'll know as well nights. In the police. Yeah, the night shifts, the day shifts. Yeah. We do relief, which is more sporadic.
What I talk about a lot to people is our daily habits, what we do every day, those little tiny things. So if you want to be a writer, you write every day. Yeah. If you want to learn the piano, you practice the piano every day. Yeah. If you want to dance, you dance every day. Yeah. You want to be a runner, you want to be fit, you run every day. So there's got to be a motivation behind that, hasn't there, I suppose? And I think there it's a particular motivation that gets you out of bed on a rainy, cold morning? Well, I think it's just knowing, because what I was leading on to then is like, even for me on my day off, my alarm goes off or whatever, or the kids wake up for the school run, and I think, oh no, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to run today. Like, my brain still tells me, it's probably surprising, Nettie, but my brain still tells me that now when I get up. I don't want to go. It doesn't surprise me.
But then I think, remember how you feel when you come back. Yeah. Because I don't have to go out and hammer it every time. Sometimes I just go out and have a little walk, or I'll think, I'll go out today, I'll just do 2 miles. And then I'll come back and I've done 10. Because when I'm out there and I've done that first mile or that first 10 minutes, I'm in it then. And I think the hardest thing for most people with motivation is it's the first couple of weeks. Once you get into anything you're doing, and once you get that passion for it and see changes because of it, then you've cracked it.
Yeah, because apparently, and that's exactly that. Really reinforces what I say about that sort of doing it a little bit every day. Like research says that it's, there's lots of different research out there when it comes to habit forming. But Harvard School say that it's around 66 days of doing something continuously. Then you're starting to build up a habit. I read an interesting book, and of course that any names or books have gone flying out of my brain right now, because of course I've read so many books and not physically read actually. So I started my journey with self-help, and the first so of course, bearing in mind I couldn't read, and I'm still not that good at reading, but I found audiobooks. I thought, they were revolutionary to me, audiobooks. And the first audiobook that I listened to was Gabby Bernstein's The Universe Has Got Your Back. That book completely changed my life. From that moment on, then I was hungry for listening to another one and listening to another one and listening to another one. Then I was listening to authors like Wayne Dyer. And then that's what led me and introduced me to Hay House and all those inspirational, fantastic authors that are on their list of Hay House. And one by one, I went through these books, but they've all got this key, all talking about your thought patterns and your thinking. So you, for example, you in the morning, you thinking, I can't be doing this. I'm not doing this today. So that is your thought. So then that makes you feel, like this.
Naturally.
Is your natural thought. I don't I don't jump out of bed, trust me, all positive and happy. It takes a good hour for me to get into that zone.
but even when you're listening to your audiobooks, you're not thinking about anything else. And I think that's it for me. It's trying to focus my brain where it's not so busy, where I can focus it into something else. And for me, running does that, and audiobooks do that for you. It's just bringing yourself down.
It's finding your way of being able to just feel calm, grounded, something that gives you something. Finding your passion as well.
Have you got daily... Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I truly believe that, like, everybody, no matter what you do, I'm not just an advocate for fitness, but everybody's got a spare hour in the day to do something, anything
turn the TV off,
that they love,
and
to turn off.
And sometimes I'm an advocate for being how you feel. Like, if you don't feel like doing something one day, and you're, we have to override resistance because there's always going to be something on the other side. And at the end of the day, we're still animals. So we're still set up for trying to conserve energy. And yes, sometimes it's great to just be like, I'm going to get out there, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But sometimes actually it's all right to just sit there and be like,
and say no.
I'm not going to do anything today.
And rest.
And
rest is
really
incredibly important because the body will only speak when you allow it time and space to do that.
Oh, it was interesting the other day because I've got quite a regular crewmate where I work, and somebody had asked her to go to the Totnes. They have like a Totnes bingo night or something like that, and they said, "Oh, girls, we'd love you to come. Like, come and buy some raffle tickets and come and Amanda, bless her, I really respected her. Amanda's like, I can't, no. And she said, I'm really sorry. She said, I just know it'll get to that day and I won't want to go. And I don't like upsetting people and I don't want to let anyone down. So I'd rather just start off with a no. And I thought, I could never do that. Like, literally, that is so hard to do. And even the girl said, wow, like that is something you don't hear often. No. Someone being just so honest like that, just saying.
That's one of my greatest lessons was to be able to stand in my power and be able to say no because that's the best thing for me.
Yeah.
And knowing that it's not my responsibility to look after everyone all the time now.
Yeah.
It's their responsibility to look after themselves.
Yeah.
And if that means I let them down, rather than project that onto me, or I say, no, that's your stuff.
Yeah.
I'm still a no. And I'm happy with that.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
And that takes practice, doesn't it?
It does take practice.
That does take practice, because only the other day, my anxiety levels were, I thought, I thought, I'm getting so much better at not getting, because I've always been a people pleaser. Always wanted to, because of that, I suppose, that little Nettie being in front of everybody, being that person that everybody go, oh, is she lovely? Oh, look at her smile.
I love that little Nettie.
And of course that makes you into a people pleaser, because you always want to make people happy, and you always they say jump, and you say, oh, okay, how high would you like me to jump? And then I've learnt, and I kind of thought I was getting better at not being a people pleaser and not worrying about what other people think about me, or that, like you say, that's their thing. And even but only
do
this
your own thing.
Yeah. But even this week, it got that kind of got shook a little bit at work, where a colleague at work, just those glances where that that there's something that's happened, and they kind of look at you, and you're kind of thinking, oh my God, what are they thinking? Oh my God, they hate me. And
But that comes back to childhood, because at the end of the day, if we're not connected to our caregivers, we will die.
Yes.
That's how our nervous system sees it.
Yes.
So that people pleasing that begins at childhood, because we need that in order to survive. At the end of the day, adults are generally children in adult bodies.
Yeah.
And it's remembering that the child in me, because I've done a lot of inner child work as well. It's been an amazing.
It's really helpful.
Very, very helpful.
So how have you done that then? Is that just through counselling?
I did that through counselling.
Counselling, and also so I've done it through shamanic journeying.
Okay, tell us about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, I've never.
Yeah, so I started talk therapy nearly 6 years ago now. And I did that for about 3 years. And I might go more into the story of that, because a lot happened in that. But there was something else in me that was like, yes, I can talk all day about this, but there's something missing. There's something I'm missing somewhere. And it was kind of shamanic journeying that really took me into my body, and enabled me to make the link between mind, body, but not just mind and body. Like, I believe that we are a mind, body, and a spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So the way shamanic journeying works is with the drum beat. What that does is it bypasses the thinking mind. So you go into essentially like a trance-like state, which again takes practice. So I'd already done meditation for years before I started this. And I found with that drum beat, and it depends, because I use guided audios for this.
Okay.
Insight Timer is a great app for that. So the drum bypasses that egoic thinking mind to really allow you to get into the subconscious, which is, again, I've tried so many different therapies and different things. There's a real connection between bypassing this, getting into the body, and allowing your imagination to just kind of run away with you. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it's really helped me to.
So where did you find out about that then? I mean, I'll be honest, I've never heard of that. So where does that come from? Is it?
It's a
Native American.
Yeah, that's kind of where shamanism originated.
Yeah.
I hope I get this right.
I've put the pressure on.
I was thinking.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You say like you like to ask questions.
It's such
ancestral.
Yeah, it's very
ancestral. Just say.
It's a very old way.
Yeah, it's an old way of doing things.
Reaching a trance-like state,
right?
Essentially, because hypnotherapy also does that. I didn't even know this myself. I have a friend who's a hypnotherapist, and the Egyptians used hypnotherapy. They had what they called sleep temples. So it's this trance-like state that allows you to get closer to yourself, but not only closer to yourself, but also closer to what I call like universe, and enable you to bring in guidance, allowing guidance. And you can only do that when you're kind of still.
Yeah.
But yeah, so shamanic journeying, I journeyed to meet my inner child. I've journeyed to meet spirit guides. All sorts of,
So cool, yeah.
I've done very similar stuff.
Yeah,
very similar stuff. And it started with sort of, because of course I never meditated, but if you think about it as a dancer, what I connect to the most is music. Is music. You can put a piece of music on for me and that's it. I'm instantly changed.
Yeah.
And that's one technique I use at home to completely lift me. I've got a playlist on Spotify that is called Up. And I've got an Uplift Me one as well, which are all the tracks that as soon as I put them on, I'm dancing around the lounge or I'm instantly lifted. Music. And I suppose it comes from that. And because I'm also, I don't know whether I've told you about it, I'm not really sure, but I'm doing a hypnotherapy course. And even though it's an online course that I paid for, even though the writing and the book and the social media has completely taken over for the moment. But I've still got that there's like modules that you go down through and then you have to then start recording yourself and then you have to start doing case studies and things like that. So I'm not at that stage yet, but I have begun the journey of hypnotherapy because I totally agree with you. And I suppose it's that going into the subconscious mind and change that you can change. What I've learned is you can change your whole programming in that subconscious mind state because you've got your conscious, subconscious.
And what you're saying is that similar to listening to music. Because if you put your headphones on, and then you're in the zone, aren't you? Well, that's one thing that helped me as well because when my husband went away to Afghan, and it was a really bad time. Herrick 14 in Afghanistan was one of the worst. We lost so many lives there for our British troops, and I was a childminder at the time. I worked for the ambulance service in Manchester, but at the time I'd had a little break because I'd had younger children. And I was just sat on a park with all the children all around me. And this girl came bouldering over the field and she said to me, Kirsty, what's your surname again? I said, Walker. Why? She said, because you're joining a choir. I said, I am not joining a choir, mate. No way. I am well too cool for that. My kids don't think so, but I'm well too cool for that. I'm not joining a choir. She went, right, well, just come down to the local Methodist church and we'll all just sing together. All your friends are coming down from the military quarters. I was like, okay, it's such a person going, right, I'll go then. So I went down and within 2 weeks of us recording, doing that, we started to record our a first single, which actually went to Christmas #1.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm in the Military Wives Choir.
And actually, I have heard of them.
So the Military Wives Choir. Yeah. So the Military Wives Choir, apart from anything big that we did with them, the little things, and we'll all say this as well, just going to practice at the church on a whatever day it was, Wednesday, whatever. That instantly just singing with my friends all around me, belting our hearts out. Honestly, I'd go in and I'd feel a bit stressed because I'd got kids screaming, all these kids in my house. And then I'd come back from there and feel instantly like, and this is without any fitness, you know, I'd just go and sing with my friends and yeah, that was instantly better.
And do you still do that now?
Got time for that? No, I'm only gone up in the no, I'm only joking. No, I'm only joking. Yeah, because my husband does laugh at me, and he'll say, "You're the only person I know with a Christmas #1 and an album." And we're still skint. So
yeah, like that feeling of community is really helpful,
it's just having girls around you who are in similar situations.
Yeah.
And honestly, that was the biggest support I could have ever had. You know, moving to Devon, not knowing anyone, and then all of a sudden I'm in this choir, going up to London, and you know, when John got back from Afghanistan, he's like, "What the hell? It's me that should be going away, not you." Yeah, checking up to London.
Were you on telly?
Oh, we're on telly, yeah.
Oh, we're on telly.
Yeah, we're on telly, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I've done a few things.
Was that?
The best thing I've ever done is because I did the Queen's Jubilee, so there was only 6 of us out at Lympstone Military Wives Choir that got chosen to go up and sing at the Queen's Jubilee. So we were all outside Buckingham Palace. And one of the best memories in my head is just seeing Union Jacks down the mall, just waving.
Wow.
Oh, that must have been such an experience for you.
Honestly, yeah, it was incredible. But yeah, it doesn't matter, like we're saying, it doesn't matter where you come from in your life or, you know, what you do for a job. It's in all of us, isn't it? Because the hardest thing to get out of is between the ears.
Yeah, is our thought patterns.
And once you've battled between the ears, everything gets a bit better.
Yeah, it's finding what works for you. Like for some people it's running, for some people it's meditation, for some people it's dancing. And I like to encompass all of those.
Yeah.
You know, I used to run a lot. I don't run as much now, but it's definitely, I've had some of my greatest epiphanies like while I've been out running.
Yeah.
I think because, so I've also had EMDR therapy.
Yeah, I've had that too. Did you find it really
very helpful? Yeah.
Sorry, I don't.
It's emotional. All right.
So it's eye movement desensitization reprogramming. So what it helps you to do is it helps the brain to process and basically file traumatic events that have happened.
Right.
Okay. It's very helpful. It's almost like hypnosis, isn't it? Because your eyes are following a light from side to side.
Yeah.
So I think that's then interrupting your thought, the connections. It's kind of, but how I was explained to it by the therapist was that, so if you've got PTSD or complex PTSD, of course you're reliving those traumatic episodes, whatever that is, over and over again. They just pop up at the most any time throughout the day. And so what that does is it files it from one part of your brain and it just pops it back. Instead of it being in your frontal sort of memory and the thing that you're thinking about all the time, you don't forget about it. It just files it back into the filing cabinet of your brain. So it's there, but you don't have the feelings associated with that event. So you can still remember the traumatic event, but you don't get the body reaction and the feelings to that event. So it kind of settles your nervous system down. It files it back into the memory. So it puts it back with all the other memories. And it, so then it's less traumatic on your body. Have I explained that okay?
Yeah.
I think that's how I found it.
I felt I went into trance state.
Yes.
With it. Very much so. Because I've had 2 different types of EMDR. So one was with the light bar.
Yeah.
And generally, going to trance state, my imagination would be kind of processing it in its own way. So they kind of take you to the traumatic event, but then you can kind of change what happens in a way.
Yeah.
And I would generally get like an emotional release with that. So I don't know, the cry or get angry or whatever. And then, going back to it later on, thinking about the memory again, it doesn't have that emotional response that it would have had before, because I honestly believe that, it's said that emotions are energy in motion. And when that energy is not allowed to be released or expressed, it gets trapped in the body.
Yeah.
So what it does is it allows the brain to process what has happened and also allow that release as well at the same time.